Yeah, everyone's been speculating. Everybody's been having their own opinion on exactly who will coach the Bulldogs as of next year. We kind of think that the interim job will probably be shared between Dave Furner and Mick Potter, who both are coaches there now. Mick Potter is the New South Wales Cup coach, and Dave Furner is the assistant coach to Trent Barrett. So one of them, if not both of them, will take over. But yeah, I'll come up with the five who I think, in order, will be the coach for the Bulldogs as of 23 coming on.
Here we go.
5.
Well, yesterday we heard this name, Brad Fiddler, Freddie Fiddler. Look, very left field, but a wonderful relationship with Gus Gould that goes back to Freddie's being a 16, 17-year-old kid. Look, Freddie's got Origin on his mind. Let's be frank. He doesn't care about any coaching job at the minute. But once this Origin series is over, I look at Freddie as a coach who would attract any player he wanted. That's his biggest, I think, the biggest tick. And he's learnt so much since he coached the Roosters back in 2000. So Freddie Fiddler at number 5.
4.
Jason Riles. Fantastic player, represented at all levels, New South Wales, Australia. But his coaching pedigree has gone through the roof of late, being the Storm's assistant. Then he went over and helped Eddie Jones with the England Union team. And then he came back, and now he's with the Roosters as an assistant. Jason Riles will be a first-grade coach one day. Who knows how quickly?
3.
37-year-old Cameron Cerraldo seems to be the next first-grade coach who is going to get the big job, but I don't think it's going to be the Dogs.
Right.
I think Cerraldo might do kind of like what Fitzgibbon did, and wait for the exact right job to come along. I'm not sure that, he's really good mates with Trent Barrett. I'm not sure that he'd take over the roles of the job that his good mate just got the punt from. So I think Cameron Cerraldo will be a first-grade coach one day, just not the Dogs yet.
2.
Paul Green. Look, for mine, one of the top 2 candidates in this for this job. He's won a competition for the Cowboys back in 2015. He got to the grand final in 2017. He's coached Queensland in Origin. Paul Green, for mine, along with the number 1 candidate, I think it's out of them two for the coach of the Bulldogs going forward.
1.
And that man who I speak of is Shane Flanagan. He's won a comp, has a fantastic rugby league IQ. Watching him commentate on Fox, you can see that. He reads the game beautifully. And I think that Shane Flanagan is that guy at 56 years of age who is most desperate for a first-grade coaching job, and I think would really suit the Bulldogs' DNA. As we keep saying, the DNA, he brought the DNA to the Sharkies. He won their first ever competition, and I think he would be, I think he'd be the top candidate.
Obviously, we've seen that the father and son team can work at Penrith with Nathan and Ivan, but how do you see that working with Shane Flanagan and his son Kyle at the Bulldogs?
I see it working well. I think he's a realist. Is Shane Flanagan, and he will pick the best player for the number 7 spot that's available, whether it's his son Kyle or whether it's somebody else. I think if Shane Flanagan got the job, he's back for one last stint as a first-grade coach, and he wants to make pay dirt, and he wouldn't show any nepotism or any favours towards his son because of who he was. So I think Shane Flanagan is the number 1 candidate to take over the Doggies coaching. But that's my opinion. I'd love to hear from the Bulldogs fans.
Yes.
On 133353 Bulldogs fans, who would you like to see coach your team from 2023 going onwards?
Who would you like to see coaching the club? And Laz in Panania is on the line. G'day, Laz.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Yeah,
Hello,
good,
Lazo.
Dave.
What's your thoughts, my man?
Jim Dimmick. I think when he took over from, I think it was Peter Moore, not Peter Moore, his son, he transformed the Bulldogs' attack. Even when Hasler came in, I think he won 8 out of the last 10 games that year. When Hasler came in, he was still in charge of the Bulldogs' attack and the forwards, and I really think he deserved this spot before Dean Pay got the job.
Laz, I like that because if you remember back to 2011, before Desi Hasler took over, Jimmy Dimmick coached for 8 games, and he had a bit of a success. He is an ex-player, which I think is a big tick. I think a club like the Bulldogs probably needs an ex-player if they're going to succeed. But yeah, you're right. He's the Titans' assistant coach at the moment, and trying to get him away from the Gold Coast at the moment it would be hard. But good, nice left field pick there, Laz. Well
Good
done.
on you, Laz. Sean's in St Clair. Sean, you're a Doggies fan. What do you think?
I'm thinking Christian Wolf, actually.
Yeah, St Helens he's with at the moment. He has some success. His name Jesse and Pagey and our Sydney listeners, or all across our listeners, he's been linked to a lot of coaching jobs. He got linked to the Sharks job. He's been linked to the Tigers job. He's been linked to a lot of jobs. You'd think that sooner or later he's got to make the plunge. I'm not sure whether or not, but they'd go outside of an Australian coach. I wouldn't mind if they did. Something left field. I like it.
Thank you, Sean. Mohammed's in Chester Hill.
I mean, they're talking about bringing the lower grade coaches, but mate, why interrupt something that's good at the moment to fix something that needs fixing? Flanagan, fix fit, as they're saying, he's got pedigree. He knows DNA, knows how to win games and win premierships, and that's what we need right now. Not to experiment with other coaches that, I mean, they're great coaches, but at the moment to drop names like Fiddler and Dimick, who are good coaches, but not right now, not what we need right now.
So you reckon right now, Mohammed, don't worry about putting Dave Ferner or Mick Potter as an interim. You say go Flanagan straight away.
Definitely. I mean, we're doing really great in the lower grade. Don't interrupt that. Maybe in the future, maybe in a few years, but at the moment, we need someone like Flanagan of his pedigree.
Good on you,
good
Mohammed.
call, mate.
Stacks of calls here. Dogs fans are really passionate about this. We can't get to everyone, but we'll put it up on our socials as well if you want to have your say.